The snow was falling softly outside the prison walls on Christmas Eve, each flake catching the yellow glow of the security lights like tiny stars against the darkness. I pressed my face against the cold window of my cell, watching the world celebrate a holiday I wouldn't be part of for the third year in a row. My daughter Emma would be 21 now. The last time I saw her, she was 18, standing in the courtroom gallery with tears streaming down her face as the judge sentenced me to 5 years for embezzlement. The look in her eyes that day, disappointment, shame, heartbreak, had haunted me every night since. I had tried calling home for months after my conviction, but the calls went unanswered. I had written letters that came back unopened. My ex-wife Rebecca had made it clear I was dead to them, a disgrace to the family name, a father who had chosen crime over his daughter's future. But they didn't know the whole story. They didn't know that every dollar I had stolen had been for Emma's medical bills when she was 16 and fighting leukemia. They didn't know that Rebecca had been having an affair with my business partner Marcus, who had manipulated me into the embezzlement scheme. They didn't know that I had taken the fall to protect both of them from prosecution. Tonight, on Christmas Eve, I had recorded a message for Emma, a message that contained the truth I had kept hidden for 3 years, a truth about love, sacrifice, and the lengths a father will go to save his daughter's life. The message had been my cellmate Tony's idea. He was serving time for tax evasion but had managed to maintain a relationship with his own children through creative communication methods. "You can't give up on her, man," Tony had said as he watched me stare at another returned letter. "Kids need to know their parents love them, even when everything else falls apart. She thinks I'm a criminal who chose money over family. Then tell her the truth, record it, send it through someone she trusts." The someone turned out to be my sister Linda, the only family member who still believed in my innocence. She had visited me once a month since my incarceration, bringing news of Emma's life that both comforted and tortured me. "She's doing well in college," Linda had told me during her last visit. "Pre-med, just like she always wanted. Rebecca's paying for it with the money from selling your business to Marcus." The irony was bitter. The business I had built from nothing, the business I had destroyed trying to save Emma's life, was now funding her education through the very man who had orchestrated my downfall. "Linda," I had said, "I need you to do something for me. I need you to record a message for Emma. But not just any message, I'm going to tell her everything. About the medical bills, about Rebecca and Marcus, about why I really took that money." Linda's eyes had widened. "Michael, are you sure? Once that truth comes out, Rebecca's been telling everyone I abandoned my family for greed. Emma's grown up thinking her father is a selfish criminal. She deserves to know that everything I did was for her. What about Rebecca? What about Marcus? They'll face charges if you expose what really happened." I had looked out the visiting room window, watching other families embrace their loved ones. Maybe it's time they faced the consequences of their choices. I've been protecting them for 3 years, but I won't sacrifice my relationship with Emma to keep protecting people who destroyed my life. The recording session took place in the prison's media room, a small space usually reserved for educational videos and legal consultations. Linda sat across from me with her phone, her hands trembling slightly as she pressed record. "Emma," I began, my voice catching slightly, "if you're hearing this, it means your Aunt Linda convinced you to listen. I know you probably don't want to hear from me. I know you think I chose money over our family, but I need you to know the truth about why I'm here." I paused, gathering the courage to reveal secrets I had kept buried for years. "When you were 16 and fighting leukemia, the experimental treatment you needed wasn't covered by insurance. The doctor said it was your only chance, but it cost $300,000. Your mother and I didn't have that kind of money." Linda's eyes filled with tears as I continued. "I went to every bank, every lender, everyone I could think of, but our credit was maxed out from the previous treatments. That's when Marcus approached me with what seemed like a solution. He said he could help me borrow money from the business temporarily just until we could secure a loan." The words felt like poison leaving my mouth, but I forced myself to continue. What I didn't know was that Marcus had been planning this for months. He had been having an affair with your mother, and they wanted me out of the picture. The embezzlement scheme was designed to frame me while giving them control of the business. I looked directly into the camera, imagining Emma's face on the other side. I could have exposed them, Emma. I could have fought the charges and revealed their affair, their conspiracy. But if I had done that, your mother would have faced prosecution too. You would have lost both parents while you were still recovering from cancer. So I took the plea deal. I let everyone believe I was a greedy criminal because it was better than you losing your mother too. Linda stopped recording, her face pale. Michael, this changes everything. If Emma hears this, then maybe she'll finally understand that everything I did was because I love her more than my own life. That night, I lay awake thinking about the message I had just recorded. For 3 years, I had carried the weight of everyone's judgment, accepting the role of villain to protect the people I loved. But the cost had been enormous. The loss of my daughter's respect, my reputation, my freedom. I thought about Rebecca, the woman I had loved for 20 years, who had betrayed me with my best friend while I was desperately trying to save our daughter's life. I thought about Marcus, who had exploited my desperation and turned it into a weapon against me. And I thought about Emma, who had grown up believing her father was a criminal. The truth was more complicated than any of them knew. Yes, I had stolen money, but I had stolen it to save my daughter's life, and I had been manipulated into a scheme designed to destroy me. The real criminals were living free while I rotted in prison. But there was something else I hadn't told Linda, something I hadn't included in the recording. During my investigation into Marcus's business dealings, I had discovered evidence of a much larger fraud scheme. Marcus hadn't just stolen from our company. He had been embezzling from multiple clients for years. The money he used to buy my business, the money that was now paying for Emma's education, was stolen from pension funds and retirement accounts. I had kept this evidence hidden, using it as insurance in case Marcus ever tried to hurt Emma or Linda. But now, with the recording made and the truth about to come out, I realized I had a choice to make. I could let Emma hear the message and learn that her father wasn't the villain she thought he was. Or I could go further and expose Marcus's entire criminal enterprise, ensuring justice but potentially destroying the financial security that was paying for Emma's medical school. Love, I realized, sometimes meant making impossible choices, and I was about to make the most impossible choice of all. Christmas morning arrived with the kind of bitter cold that made the prison walls feel like they were closing in. I sat in my cell, imagining Emma waking up in the house I had once shared with Rebecca, the house that now belonged to Marcus. I wondered if she ever thought about me on Christmas morning, or if I had been successfully erased from her life. At 2 p.m., my phone privileges began. I called Linda, my hands shaking as I dialed. Michael. Her voice was strange, strained. Did you give her the message? I tried. I went to Rebecca's house this morning for Christmas dinner. Emma was there, along with Marcus and his family. When I asked to speak with Emma privately, Rebecca got suspicious. My heart sank. What happened? Rebecca confronted me. She demanded to know what I wanted to tell Emma. When I mentioned that you had sent a message, she exploded. She said you were a disgrace, that you had no right to contact Emma, that I was banned from the house if I was going to carry messages from a convicted felon. And Emma defended you, Michael. She said she had a right to hear from her father, regardless of what he had done. Rebecca got so angry she uninvited Emma from Christmas dinner, told her she could choose between her criminal father and her family. I felt like I had been punched in the stomach. Even from prison, I was still destroying Emma's relationships, still causing her pain. There's more, Linda continued. Emma left with the message. She said she was going to listen to it and make her own decisions about her father. But Michael, Rebecca called Marcus, they're planning something. I heard them talking about permanent solutions and protecting what they've built. The words sent ice through my veins. Linda, you need to warn Emma. If they think she's going to expose their conspiracy. I tried calling her, but her phone goes straight to voicemail. I'm worried, Michael. Really worried. I closed my eyes, feeling the weight of 3 years of consequences crashing down on me. By trying to protect Emma with my silence, I had put her in danger. By recording the truth, I had made her a target. Linda, I need you to do something else for me. There's evidence hidden in my old office behind the bookshelf. Documents that prove Marcus has been stealing from other clients. Get them to the FBI. Tonight. Michael, what are you planning? I'm planning to stop protecting people who don't deserve protection. The call came at 8 p.m. on Christmas night. It was Emma, and she was crying. Dad? Dad, is it true? Is everything in your message true? Emma, sweetheart, where are you? Are you safe? I'm at Aunt Linda's house. I listened to your message, and then I confronted Mom and Marcus. Dad, they tried to deny everything, but I could see it in their faces. Mom started crying and Marcus got angry. Really angry. My worst fears were coming true. Emma, you need to stay with Linda. Don't go home tonight. Dad, there's something else. After I left Mom's house, I went to our old house, the one we lived in when I was sick. The new owners let me look around, and I found something in my old bedroom closet. My heart stopped. What did you find? Letters, Dad. Letters you wrote to me while I was in the hospital. Letters Mom told me you never wrote. Letters where you promised you would do anything to make me better, even if it meant sacrificing everything. I could barely speak. Emma, you did sacrifice everything, didn't you? Your business, your freedom, your reputation, all for me. You're my daughter. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I know you would. And Dad, I'm going to make this right. I called the FBI. I told them everything from your message. They're reopening the investigation into Marcus's business dealings. Before I could respond, I heard commotion in the background. Linda's voice, urgent and frightened. Emma, there's someone at the door. Multiple cars in the driveway. Dad, I think Marcus is here. He brought people with him. Terror flooded through me. Emma, call 911. Right now. I already did. But Dad, I need you to know something. I never stopped loving you. Even when I thought you had abandoned us, part of me always knew you wouldn't do that without a reason. The line went quiet for a moment. Then I heard Linda's voice. It's the FBI, Emma. Agent Rodriguez is here. Relief washed over me as I heard official voices in the background. The sound of badges being shown, of a situation being secured. Mr. Morrison? A new voice came on the line. This is Agent Rodriguez. Your daughter's testimony and the evidence your sister provided have given us enough to arrest Marcus Webb and several of his associates. We're also reopening your case. What about my ex-wife? Mrs. Morrison is cooperating fully. She's admitted to the affair and to her knowledge of the embezzlement scheme. In exchange for her testimony, she'll likely face reduced charges. Emma's voice came back on the line. Dad, Agent Rodriguez says you might be released soon. Your conviction could be overturned. I sat in my cell, overwhelmed by emotions I had suppressed for 3 years. Emma, I'm so sorry. Sorry for the lies, sorry for the pain, sorry for missing so much of your life. You didn't miss it, Dad. You saved it. And now I'm going to save yours. As I hung up the phone, I realized that sometimes love requires sacrifice, but it also requires truth. And sometimes the truth is the greatest gift you can give. 3 months later, I walked out of prison a free man. The conviction had been overturned. Marcus was facing federal charges for a fraud scheme that had stolen millions from innocent investors, and Rebecca had been sentenced to 2 years of probation in exchange for her cooperation. Emma was waiting for me outside the prison gates, looking more beautiful and mature than I had ever seen her. We held each other for a long time, both of us crying, both of us trying to make up for 3 years of lost embraces. I have something for you, she said, pulling out a small wrapped box. A late Christmas present. Inside was a simple silver watch, engraved with the words, "To the father who gave up everything for love." Emma, I can't accept this. You're in medical school. You need every penny. Dad, Marcus's assets are being liquidated to pay back his victims. The court awarded me a settlement that will cover medical school and then some. But more importantly, I have my father back. We drove to Linda's house, where a small celebration was waiting. Not the large family gathering I had once known, but something better. People who had stood by me through the darkest period of my life. What happens now? Emma asked as we sat on Linda's porch, watching the sunset. Now we rebuild, I said. I'm thinking about starting a new business. Something honest. Something that helps people instead of hurting them. I'd like to help. When I finish medical school, maybe we could work together. Help families dealing with medical crises. Make sure they don't have to make the choices you made. I looked at my daughter, this incredible young woman who had chosen truth over comfort, justice over security. She had risked everything to save me, just as I had once risked everything to save her. You know what the best part about being free is, I asked. What? Getting to be proud of you in person instead of from behind prison walls. Sometimes the greatest love stories aren't about romance. They're about the unbreakable bond between a parent and child. If this story touched you, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. There are stories that change how we see the world, and this is just one of them.